Local Soccer Matters podcast on Garden County Sport with your host, Dan Gorman.
Hello there, and a warm welcome to the third ever episode of Garden County Sport Soccer Podcast, Local Soccer Matters. We missed out last week. We didn't get around to getting one done, so we do apologise for that. Yet again, going back to last week, a big thanks to Tara O'Connor. I think you agree it was a very insightful interview, and he gave us plenty of time, so thank you again to Tara. This week, in terms of local action, there was obviously very, very little waterlogged pitches, etc. Kind of curtailed the schedule. We'll just quickly run through the results. In the Premier, we had Arklow 2, St Peter's 3 in a match that we covered, Wicklow Rovers 2, Carnew A, a match that I personally covered myself, and then last Greystones 7, Ballywaldrum 0. We weren't at that, but obviously a very good win for Greystones, and Ballywaldrum's misery unfortunately continues, so hopefully things turn around for themselves. In League of Ireland news this week, Bray Wanderers have announced two big signings. Gary Shaw, a former Seagull, has signed from Pats. Gary's played in the Premier Division now for the last few years. He's well known as a target man, very good player. At the first division level, he should really do well. And also local man, Arklow Town's Aaron Barry. So obviously on two fronts there, it was very nice to see that. I'd known Aaron for years now from his early days with that Arklow Town dream team. And obviously he monitored his career throughout, and it's nice to see him end up with his local club. And then today, which is obviously Wednesday, it was announced that Liam Scales has gone to Shamrock Rovers. Ironically, I texted Liam this morning about being a podcast guest tonight, and he got back to say he would be happy to do it next week, maybe just a bit busy at the moment. And within about half an hour, Shamrock Rovers were announced as signing, so completely understandable, he was a bit busy. But yeah, delighted for Liam. It's a great move for him. Obviously, he was nearly going to England to Bristol Rovers last year, and it fell through for whatever reason, which I'm sure we'll learn about next week. But great to see a local young lad from Barndarrig, not from Arklow, Barndarrig, get the big move. Rovers obviously won the cup this year, and he was there to Viva that day. I'm sure it's the kind of thing he wants to see all the time and take part in, and with Liam there, hopefully he can bridge the gap now between them and the Dock and make it an interesting title race for everyone this year. So I touched upon Aaron Barry and Gary Shaw earlier. One man who's got to talk about it a lot more and in depth is Gary Cronin, who joins me on the line tonight. So we'll pass over now to that segment with Gary's conversation that we recorded earlier. I'm joined on the line now by Bray Wanderers manager Gary Cronin. Gary, how's the off-season going for you so far?
Hectic. It's all good. How you doing, Dan? All right?
Yeah, not bad. Yourselves keeping well?
Yeah, good. Looking forward to getting back into it, Dan. And it's a hectic off-season, which is, it's the same last year, and I'm sure it'll be the same every year. It's that time where, players are looking for clubs and managers looking for players to try and make some changes and build on things and so on. And so listen, I'm enjoying trying to put the add to the squad that we have and try and push on for next year.
Did you get much of a break personally?
No, it's hard. Mentally, it's hard. It's difficult. I was away for a few days with ourselves in New York, which was fantastic. It's an unbelievable city, and that was the break. But knowing that I have to go back and still add to the squad, it's mentally not really a break because you're constantly thinking of it. But look, that's as far as it went. Just look back at it now and try and get everything prepared, player wise and session wise for pre-season. And
you have a few players signed back already. Do you want to briefly discuss each one and how happy you are with them?
Yeah, go ahead. No problem.
You've Adam, the local lads, it was Adam Hayden, goalkeeper, who near the end of the season obviously seemed to be the first choice. You're happy to get him down again?
Delighted with Adam, and we signed Adam last year from Bluebell, which obviously he was playing at a good level at senior football, and he's a young prospect for a goalkeeper, and I really think Adam has great potential that he needs to fulfill. So we knew what type of season it was going to be for Adam last year, obviously waiting in the wings. Could possibly be the same this season, Dan, but he's in a much better place to fight for that number one spot. I thought he'd done excellently well in the 3 games that he played at the end of the season, particularly in Shells. It was a big enough game, and he kept a clean sheet. So really happy with that with Adam, and I think Adam is really going to be a top goalkeeper.
And obviously then in defence there was Killian Campbell re-signed, who was probably, I think, the most consistent player for Bray last year possibly. And then Derek Daly, just to remember them all here off the top of my head now. Dylan Barnett, obviously, a lad. So the defence is already taking shape there. Obviously, there's quite a few more to come, but there are two or three key players there signed back already.
Yeah, I thought Killian was excellent for us last year, and Killian came in late in pre-season last year, and so it was a good find, and he done really, really well. As you said yourself there, Dan, he was the most consistent player that we had, and he's versatile. We played him holding midfielder a couple of times, and obviously right side of centre back and right full, so he can play a couple of positions. And listen, we're going to be demanding more from all the players next year, but he done really well. I was delighted to get Killian back on board, and Dylan Barnett. That was a big one for us, Dylan, we're under a little bit of threat to lose Dylan from other clubs, but we're delighted to hold on to Dylan again. Being obviously from the town as well, and it's been fantastic to get Dylan back in. And I just, with some of the players, you have Derek Daly, Joe Doyle, there's Paul is back. He's a particular role to play, and these are players that we've sort of put a year into sort of know what they want, and I feel that these are obviously going to push on, and there's one or two more to come that I don't want to announce now, Dan. I wanted to have their own little moment that being announced as an individual. So look, yeah, it's the additions to you're trying to add obviously some experience as well to the squad, and Aaron Barry's been a fantastic one for me, and Gary Shaw as well, and these are players that are obviously at a stage of their careers where they're thinking of life beyond football. Gary and Aaron both could sign for a full-time club in the Premier if they want to prolong their full-time career in Ireland, but they're sensible people, and they understand that that they're looking at other avenues outside football as well, but yet they want to maintain a professional football career as well. So I think they've been two great signings for us, and I think they'll do really well.
Yeah, I was extremely pleasantly surprised when I seen Aaron. Obviously a local lad, I'd known years from playing Arklow, and Gary was at Bray before, so I knew him from then. Like at this level in the first division, they really could make such a big difference to the team.
Yeah, I'm hoping that they'll make differences in the dressing rooms with their experience, and along with Paul, I think that's a good core of experienced lads there. But Aaron obviously being from Wicklow and from Arklow is really good for us. And look, I know Aaron a long time. He's been a player when I got the Bray job. I thought in time I'd get him, and I probably got him sooner than I would have thought, because he's just turned 27. He's only gone 27 last week, so he's a huge amount to offer. He wants to get Bray promoted, and that's what we want. So they have a determination to do well. Gary the same, obviously at the other end, and I've worked with Gary before at Longford Town. He bagged loads of goals with Davy O'Sullivan, and Davy played off him and got a lot of goals off Gary Shaw. So I'm hoping he'll do the same for us. But yeah, Gary started that Bray, and it's nice to have him back at the club. He'll do really well for us. So hopefully he'll turn into results.
It's very early days yet to be discussing tactics, etc. But Gary is a kind of out target man, and as you said, Davy O'Sullivan, obviously who we know very well, played off him. So that gives you a different option. You can go with him by himself, you could play a striker off him, and another striker is obviously Joe Doyle, and himself and Derek Daly are back as well. Would you expect more from them this year? Do you think they unfulfilled potential a bit last year? Yeah, and they're the demands that we'll have there. We want more, particularly from the players that were there last year. Because ultimately we fell short on. A lot of people compliment the way we play, the way we try and play, the style of football, which is great, which is fantastic, and I want to continue on that road. But we need more. We need to be more effective in the opposition box, and also we need to be more effective in our own box, because we conceded too many in the last third, where we turned it around and scored. We scored 21 goals in the last 9 games of the season. We had an unbeaten run, but we conceded too many goals in that period as well. So we need to be more effective in each box, and try and add that to the way we play. So yeah, it's going to be more demands. Looking for more from Derek and from Joe. And any new player that comes in, we're looking for more from them as well. Look at Gary. He's come in obviously from full-time setup at Pats, but Gary will want to score more goals. I know Gary. He wants to put the ball in the back of the net more, and so hopefully he'll do that for us next year. And obviously one man who's not returning who did help out massively with the goals last year was Dylan McGlade. He's gone to England with Spite Bartons. I hope it's said right now. And were you disappointed when you got through the news that he wouldn't be back?
Look, I know Dylan well, and I know his personal circumstances. I knew as soon as he was finished last season that he was going over to the UK too with his partner. He has a partner over there from the days he played over there. So, Dylan has been over to his partner throughout the season. When she wasn't well, I knew Dylan would have a look back over there. So when it happened, no, I wasn't entirely surprised. Dylan's gone off to play in the UK. He has a life over there. With his partner. So listen, I wish Dylan all the best over there. He's a fantastic footballer. He's that type of footballer that get a lot of fans on the edge of their seats. He can also cause a manager to pull his hair out many times as well. He shows Bright Spartans are a good non-league side, so he's chosen to stay over there with his partner. So listen, fair play to him, and I wish him all the best. Dylan will always have football to play. He's a good player.
And another man who won't be returning is Hugh Douglas. Obviously online I kind of got a bit of reaction when I'm being the local hometown hero and everything like that. Was it a hard decision to not sign him back? Well,
it's a difficult situation. I spoke to Hughie, and I know obviously. Listen, I have huge respect for Hughie. He's a great character, and obviously being from Bray, the way it's panned out has been a little bit disappointing. But look, that happens in football. I didn't turn around to Hughie and say, "Listen, you're gone." It was nothing like that. I'm sure he'd say that himself. There's obviously competition for places, and that's ultimately I did say I want you at the club, but I wasn't guaranteeing that a start. By the way, like all players, nobody's guaranteed a start. That's the way it panned out, and Hugh himself decided that wasn't good enough, which is fair. I respect that, and he announced his departure from the club himself the following morning. And look, I understand football, Dan. That's the way it works. Things are great for a while, and sometimes things move on. Listen, I've moved on from that, and look, all I can do is wish Hughie all the best, but that's ultimately the way it panned out, and I'd wish him all the best whatever he does in the future.
Excellent. Now it's good to get both sides of the story, obviously. Is there many more from the panel last year you're still looking to tie down?
Yeah, there is. Yeah, there is. There's one or two who I'm confident we'll add back. We're also looking to, one of the things I had to do from last year, Dan, was, which was noticed from my point of view, was create more competition for places. I don't know if you look back probably in the first 10 games, starting 11 didn't vary too much, and we had a great start. As we won our first 3 games, and we won our League Cup game, and so that's obviously things aren't going to change much when you're winning. But I felt that there was probably 1 or 2 players that were in a comfort zone in relation to that. There wasn't enough pressure. So that's something that I learned from, and I have to identify. So I'm looking at players that are, whether it's a squad of 18 or 20, whatever the case is, and even the young lads coming through from the 19s, that everyone's putting each other under pressure for places. Because when that happened, when young Dean Williams came in and John Martin came in on loan, you'd see that, and Brandon McCann was knocking on the door for playing time as well, and you could see the change. All of a sudden, players who were playing all the time at the start, their place was under threat, and that's what I need to create, and that's what I will create for ourselves next year. That there's players that are going to be under pressure to perform and keep their place. So, look, I'm in talks with a few players here at the moment, Dan, to try and obviously make us stronger and better.
And is there many players you've gone in for and they got away? And obviously, you mightn't want to name names, but is that something that happens a lot? You chat lads up might be right.
Yeah, you could do up your list of players, and you can make phone calls, and sometimes you got to be realistic. I'd love to sign Robbie Benson, but I wasn't going to be in the running for that. That type of thing. And so you can want all the players you want, but yeah, there is that element. When you're looking at it from our point of view, we train in the evenings. Obviously, we're not full time, but we train in the mornings. So our sort of competition will be similar clubs that train in the evenings. Obviously, similar first division clubs, Drogheda, Longford, and so on. But even in the Premier, some 1 or 2 players that I did speak to, and I felt the biggest threat would be Shells, and 1 or 2 players that I did have hopes that would come to ourselves ended up signing for Shells, and that's the way it works. And I'd wish them all the best, because it's a big attraction, Premier football, and when we get there back into the Premier, I'd use that as obviously as a tool to try and get players in that you're playing Premier football, and that's where a lot of players want to be. So there's competition out there, and that's the way it's always going to be done. So hopefully now we can get ourselves in a position where we can get ourselves back to Premier football as soon as we can, and that'll obviously be a stronger tool for me to try and get the quality player in that we need.
And obviously the rivals this year again, Longford and Drogheda, and it looks like Galway with the signings we're making so far could be up there. And what have you made of their signings so far? But Rob Manley, obviously the eye-catching one.
Yeah, it's a great signing. For Longford. Rob done excellently well last year, obviously. But look, come here. We can only look at my own squad and be happy with what I saw myself. I really suppose if we had an unlimited budget, you sign loads of players that other teams can't sign them. It's going to be competitive again next year. Obviously, Longford are knocking on the door, and they're signing accordingly to do that. And Drogheda will be again. There's talk, obviously, Galway are we investing to try and knock on the door as well. And it'll be a similar league to last year. I mean, I suppose the only change, you have UCD, a Dublin club, being exchanged with Shelbourne. Shelbourne gone up. We know different UCD are different culture, and a lot of students. There's some fantastic players, and I know some of the students that are there. So they'll be a tough proposition as well. And to be honest with you, Dan, I said it last year, anyone can beat anyone, and that probably proved to be the case. But I look at the likes of Cove; they're going to be dangerous next year under Stuart Ashton. Stuart's probably going to bring a freshness to Cove, and you've seen it in the game in our place last year when it was 3-3, an entertaining game. They were a really good side that night, Cove. So look, there's definitely going to be a good mix, probably 6 teams looking to get those spots. But we need to make sure next year that we're well equipped to get one of those spots next year.
And the loan signings last year, Gary, you had Dean O'Halloran, John Martin and Dee Williams, and the latter two obviously completed the season, which worked out very, very well. Dean also had looked very good at the beginning of the season. So number one, will you looking to pull out a few low signings this year? And number two, John Martin and Dean Williams, I presume you've been on to them about coming back full time, have you?
Look, the three of them done actually well. I mean, Dino had a lovely spark of life, particularly in the first 9 games when he came in and worked hard, but circumstances, he had to go back to Waterford from their point of view. So that's how Dino O'Halloran worked out on that. I mean, there's other elements to be considered, obviously, travel and getting them up for as many training sessions as possible. But obviously, it stood out, obviously, Dean Williams and John Martin made a massive difference. It just goes to show that we were much more effective in the attacking box with the 2 lads there. And Dean, I think, picked up 8 goals, I think, if I'm right, in around that, Dan, about 8 goals for us in the league in 9 games, which we didn't have that sort of strike rate from anyone else in that short period of games, So he done actually well. I'd love to have Dean Williams there next year with ourselves. But I know Rovers were impressed with his progress and have signed him up on a new contract. So possibility. I mean, there's talks of something happening at Rovers in the First Division. I don't know how true or how much that will materialise. But someone like Dean Williams obviously would love to have back, as other clubs would love to have him as well, because other clubs were talking to him as well. But he done really well for us, which was evident on, and as did John Martin. But at this moment in time, they've gone back to their parent clubs, and that's the way it is at the moment. So sometimes, you'll do your business, and one or two things might come out in January where there might be 1 or 2 loan deals possible, But I'm not in the business of just taking other clubs' players to progress them in Bray. We do have a structure that we want to progress on our underage ourselves. I am talking to younger players to try and get them in, tapping on the door, first team, and obviously going to play some 19 games. And we want a pathway and a progression to come from our 17s and 19s into the first team as well, which obviously happened last year. I know Darrell Lynch got a few minutes at the end, but Andy Moran played a couple of appearances and so on. And we want to be able to try and progress that as long as they're good enough for first team now.
Excellent. Listen, Gary, I won't keep much longer. Just one more thing for you. It's the obvious question. Next year, the league title, I presume, is the main ambition. Last year, people would argue if you had the firepower, you might have won it last year. So you're hoping this year, Gary Shaw, Joe Doyle, whoever else will make the difference and catch up that table.
Yeah, well, listen, we'll add to the strike force and we'll add to our defence and midfield over the coming days and weeks, Dan. That's what I'm working on at the moment. But yeah, look, I mean, last year, quietly we saying we want to win the league. To be perfectly honest with you, obviously the league table doesn't lie. There wasn't a hell of a lot in it, particularly after Shells obviously worthy winners in the end. But when you delve down and analyse the results, I think bar one game, we didn't lose any game more than one goal, so there was only a kick of a ball in a lot of the situations. If we had taken our chances against Drogheda up there and not conceded that late goal, and we had won the game 1-0, we would have finished ahead of Drogheda, and that's how tight it was. But there, if buts and maybes, we want to make sure that we're not at the end of next season going, what if? We want to make sure that we, have that firepower and obviously keep it tight at the back as well. So, look, the aim, obviously, from our point of view, we want to try and do the best we can to try and win the league. But we have to minimum make sure that we're in those playoffs.
Gary, always a pleasure. Thanks very much for joining us today.
Dan, anytime, no problem. I'm sure I'll talk to you soon, Dan. Can't wait for the season to get back. All right.
Me too. Cheers, Gary. So that was Gary Cronin there. A massive thank you to Gary for giving up his time on a Wednesday evening to talk to us. He's a busy man. He was out in Abbottstown today, FA headquarters, giving some talks on coaching. He's obviously as well meeting players left, right and centre, trying to get them all ready for next year. It was very interesting to hear his take on the Hugh Douglas scenario. Obviously, for those who might have missed it, Hugh Douglas with the club now many years, a long-serving player, a hometown player, he's captained the club many times. He announced on, I think it was Sunday morning, that he was leaving the club, that he wasn't going to be offered a new deal. As Gary's alluded to there, it wasn't quite as straightforward as that. I did make contact with Hughie about coming on the show. Hopefully we'll be something happen in the future, but as of now, I haven't got a solid response from him. Just in closing, anyone else has anything else to say or wants mentioned on the podcast, please do get in touch. If you want to come on and discuss something, we're happy to have you on board. Any suggestions, queries, anything at all, please get in touch, and if it'll help us, we'll obviously be happy to help out. So listen, thanks very much for talking to us, listening to us again, and until next week, we're out.
Local Soccer Matters podcast on Garden County Sport with your host, Dan Gorman.